Hello everyone and welcome back to Tassa Springs, our beautiful vanilla Cities Skylines playthrough. Thank you so much for the wonderful support on the previous episode where we built this beautiful little plaza and this suburban sprawl with its own dedicated services and parks and a little commercial area as well. In that episode, we of course also hit the milestone of Big Town, where we do get another square, we get campus, taxation policies, we get some metro, IT cluster, leisure, and high density as well. So in today's episode, we are going to start introducing some high density. As we talked about in the previous episode, the downtown and main sort of skyscrapers and high risers are going to be situated here. So in today's episode, we're going to start introducing some higher buildings, a little dotted gradual increase to our downtown and the main sort of high-rise area. And we're going to do that over here on this little bank here, tucked in between the Tassa Springs River and the train network here. We are going to introduce some metro over here as well, but it won't be fully functional because the transportation hub over here has not been built yet. We are waiting to hit the population of 11,000 before we build that, because in that milestone, we do get access to some of the content creator packs metro stations, which is what I want to put in here, of course, also with the train line, which we've prepped for here. So in today's episode, let's start discussing the introduction of a gradual increase in height. And we'll do that by creating a little commercial waterfront coupled with some of the lower high rises of residential buildings over here. Now, the very first thing that we'll do is actually create the waterfront, and then we'll worry about bringing people over here later. Now, this means a bit of terraforming, so I'm going to leave the game paused. And first, I'm going to make the river a bit shallower, just about here, because otherwise you can get some janky terraforming. So we'll terraform this out to just about like this. That should be good. And we'll lower the elevation here to this third elevation line. So 1, 2, 3 to this. So we'll select that, and then we'll terraform this out. Is that enough? It should be. Cool. So this also starts the introduction of different layers of height, right? We'll have one layer of height here, and maybe another one over here, and some others over here. Perfect. Let's hit play and see what the water does. It's going to do all kinds of crazy things, so we'll let it city skyline away. All right, and that should do it. This water will dissipate at some point. Now, let's talk about some keys. And I think a walkable key would be nice here. Maybe a fenced one. Let's see how it looks. How does that look? Yeah, I like that. That's nice. It's nice and low. Cool. So let's continue this out on both sides and see. These keys can be a bit finicky. See, shoreline required, right? It doesn't register that part as a shoreline for whatever reason. So we'll pull it out to where it will. And now nowhere. Great. Come on. Oh, the water's still being City Skylines-esque. Quite finicky, these seawalls, all right? But we'll just carry it on to about here. And we'll come back in the detailing time lapse and fix this up a little bit. Now let's talk about the introduction of a riverfront tram line. Let's slow things down a little bit here. We'll keep the game at 1 speed. Let's grab our tram line. Okay? And just the tram. And we'll grab a road guideline somewhere about here on this node, and we'll drag this all the way across. All right, this will be the base of the build, if you will. Let's grab our tram track. We'll go in by 10 for now, and that should be good. Now let's take a look at some height here. So if we do 3, will that cross over? Yes. So just for height reference, we'll just put down a little bit of a road here. We'll grab our landscaping tool and our shift terrain, and we'll pull it up until we are at that height. Perfect. Now we can delete this, come to our level terrain, the smallest brush, and we'll start terraforming this out. And let's make sure that this is perfectly straight. So we'll pull away the land here. Okay. Like so. That should be good. Now let's come to our tram. And we'll grab this node. We'll go in by 10. We'll come out by 5. And over by 5. No, we can come over by a little bit shorter than 5. We'll come over by this. And like this. And we'll go all the way up to where it'll let us. Yeah, something like this. This should be enough. So let's grab a nice tree road here. And we'll follow... We'll start in this corner right here, grabbing this this road guideline. We'll click and turn off the road guideline because I want this to be a good grid. So we'll do 10, 10, 10, and we'll have 2 of these grids, like so. And that should be enough for now. And in here, we'll do a little bit of high residential commercial, which I'll zone out now in 2 boxes like this for now. So there's a very specific asset that I'm looking for. Surprise. That I'm looking for here. And it's a 4x4 asset. And when they grow in correctly in boxes like these, they look absolutely amazing. And we'll start by placing 1 metro track over here. It's gonna be elevated. So we'll go up by 3 and as close to this road as possible in the middle, like in between these 2 nodes. So right here, we'll drag it over to the middle of the next 2 nodes so that we have space for a road to run in behind here, which means now we can terraform a little bit more. Let's grab a bigger brush and we'll just push this back all the way to the train line right there. Something like this, right? We'll grab our tree road here and we'll come underneath the the metro track, and we'll leave a space of 1 tile. So we'll go 5 units up and we'll just drag it over like so. And that should allow us to elevate it over the top of this tram road. Now I'll show you the buildings that I have in mind here, which they came in the modern city center content creator pack, and they look like this. So this is a very, very good asset to have. It's 4 assets, right? So this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. And when they grow right, just like this, they look absolutely fantastic. And if we go to the other side of the river and we take a look from, let's say, I placed an incineration plant right here because trash, that will move, don't you worry. But let's take a look from somewhere in here, right? So now we see spots of height, but they are a little bit sunken, right? Compared to the rest of the landscape. So it's not too high, which means we'll start introducing some height going into the downtown over there. Now on the back of this, there are a few high density residentials that I'm thinking about using, and I'm realizing now that this is actually placed incorrectly. So let's delete this and this. Now what we want here is actually the buildings to the back of the building facing the metro station with just a path in between. So I'll drag this out for now, just like this, and then let's measure it out. So we want 5 tiles away. So about here should be good. Fantastic. And we'll leave that like this for now. Cool. All right, very nice. We can start prepping for the next square, which we have quite a high need for industry. So I'm thinking we can use some of the office assets over here, since that does also satisfy the industrial need. Now let's see if this road will play ball. Something like this. There to there. And then what was the length of this? 500 to there. Let's take a look. Yes. Nice. All right, that should be good. We can also now bring the metro track over. So we'll grab this and pull it to where it will let us. And let's see, did that keep the height? Yes, it did. And then we should be able to just pop on over to the other side like this and continue out. And same with the road. They should be able to now just continue out like so. However, let's try and place a few houses down. So, like I said, these are some 4x4 residential buildings that I have in mind. And as always, very specific buildings. So let me show you the ones I'm talking about. Something like this, right? So naturally a bit poor side of town, since, you know, who would want to live right next to the metro? These residential, high-rise, high-density residential buildings, they tend to be a little bit more forgiving with noise. And then down here, we will, of course, think about our detailing palette, which will be a path, right? And then maybe a fence. But let's continue on this side, right? And in the same sort of manner, we'll have to bring this over the tram road. And let's see how we're going to do that. Yeah, okay, so we ended up actually having to move the tram track over a little bit just to make room for this bridge. And let's see if it'll play ball now. So this is 320. And let me just landscape out a little bit. This is a keep your tongue inside your mouth kind of moment here. So will you go to that side without too much issue? Yes. And then we can grab this and landscape it into this part. And hopefully that'll work. Let's see. Nice and symmetric. Perfect. And with that, we could actually even bring this all the way out here. So we have room for a little bit of a path that'll come over. Let's take a look. If we bring this grass road down by 10, yeah, that looks good. And then over by 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10. And I think, yeah, we need to terraform this little bit as well as that. And we'll just bring it out a little bit further. Just like that. Perfect. That should do it. So sort of the same technique as when you're building canals, right? You would, you know, have the roads cross over them, and it's a whole finicky process. But this seems to be working out very nicely. Very, very nice. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. Of course, we need to fix this over here as well, which we can. We're going to leave a little bit of space here for the path to come up and over and so on and so forth. Any modern art? Yes, we do have a little bit of modern art. But hey, what are you going to do? We may just, you know, move the light posts around a little bit, which you can do by controlling the nodes a little bit. So let's play with that thought. Let's bring this out again to where it needs to be. If we take you as close as we can and make sure that the middle of that node is away. There you go. See? There you go. No more modern art. Just a little bit there, but we can pretend. Oh, that's actually just a street sign. Nice. Perfect. All right. That's good. Let's get out of here. Now over here, like I said, we'll choose the office zoning here, and we'll do another set of 4x4s. Like so. I'll wait for the right buildings to grow in, and we'll be right back. Something like this, right? So again, it's a 4x4 office asset, which when they grow correctly, they fit together like a glove. It's fantastic. Like, look at how beautiful this looks. And I don't mind so much the color differences, of course. So we're starting to see sort of some sort of waterfront pop up here. And if we zoom over to the other side of town, let's take a look from the Artivan triangle, right? If we're sitting right here, will we see them? Yeah, see, just there in the distance behind the Via Tassa, we're just starting to see a little bit of height come up, which of course we need to factor into builds like this, right? Here will be the tall skyscrapers, really, really, you know, the big ones. But let's keep going over here. So let's play with the idea of an elevated path here. We'll bring on our road guidelines, and there is a road guideline right there. And let's see, is that level? Yes. Perfect. A lot of different layers of height. We love this, all right? And we'll just bring that into there, and we'll bring this over by the same distance. So what was that? 160? 162. All right, we'll play with that for now. Now, of course, we want pedestrians to be able to get from one side of the tram tracks here to the other side. And how do we do that? So we don't have enough space to go over and down. So what we'll have to do is a diagonal underground, so tunnel basically. So our elevated path is over here, all right? And we'll just come down from here down to about there, which should be good enough, all right? It shouldn't be too steep. Of course, we can close that off there as well. Then from here, we do need to be on the other side of this. So let's rethink that. With our road guideline on, we'll grab this node, which should be the correct grid, and we'll come to about there. Yeah, perfect. And there. Very nice. Cool. Now we can turn our road guidelines off again. Right here, we'll grab the path and go into here so that, you know, there's a point there. We can delete this and come underground to about here. All right. And then without the angle or anything on, we'll come up to a different view here. And we'll come into about there should be good enough. And then we can come up again and it'll sit right there. Perfect. Of course, we'll detail up all of this as always in the detailing time lapse. But that should mean that we now have very steep staircase here, but this should mean that we now have access to both sides of the tram. So it'll stop here, and then on the other side, it'll stop right close to this, right? Perfect. And that means we can carry on this sort of pattern a little bit further, and also think about incorporating this metro station. So let's actually delete that for now. Yes, and that and that. And we'll grab our landscaping tool and continue this height out a little bit further. Something like that. Okay. We'll worry about the tram afterwards. So let's grab our grass road here and just continue out with all of the road guidelines on, except, well, with all the snapping off except the road guidelines. And we'll go 10, 10, 10, and we'll create another block of these. All right. We'll drag our road here with us as well. Grab our metro track and pull it with us like so. And then connect these two up right there. Cool. And I think in this space we'll have another one of those blocks, right next to these offices. Something like this. On the back of this, we'll continue our 4x4 residential. Not 5. Yeah, there you go. And hopefully I've counted correctly. So 4 and 3. No, I have not. We'll just move this road over. It'll be okay. We'll have a little path in here. Something like this. We'll have a path go through this. Now, of course, we want to bring a tram stop in again to sort of round this area off. And we also want a larger road behind this. So let's prepare for that. Let's push this back to the train station here, and we'll see if we can make a road play ball with this here. Don't worry about that. We'll fix that at some other time. Let's grab our 4-lane road with decorative grass here, and we'll pull it out to about here, which should give us space enough to drag it behind this tram kerfuffle. Lack of better words. And we don't want that. So we'll drag that back a little bit. I'm wondering if this is too sharp. I think it is. So let's come back a little bit. Here, yes, better. Yeah, that we can live with. That we can detail out. Cool. And we'll come to about here with this, all right? And that's going to be sort of the main feeder into this area. So let's close it off here. Like so. Very nice. Very, very nice. We'll bring the metro track to about here. Now, how are we going to get people into this area? Well, we're going to need an interchange here. And I think we're going to come from the river, possibly go into a tunnel. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm thinking some sort of diamond interchange. So let's make sure that we are flat here, all right? And we'll take this height here, and we'll just bring this out and bring it back, all right? And I think we could even go a little bit higher here. So something like this. Different layers of height. Always important. Always important to think about different layers of height, all right? Cool. So let's bring over this highway. We'll make sure that we come down to ground level at a gradual increments, okay? Which should be about something like this. And now we'll have the task of connecting these two together, all right? So I'm thinking right underneath, right here, we'll create a little tunnel, all right? So we'll go down by 1 and we'll go as close as we can. So we'll make sure that we are as equal on each side as we can. And from there, we'll come up to ground level without the road guidelines on and with a distance of 10 units, like so. Come underground again and do the same on the other side here. Perfect. And so with this tunnel, we can now prep for a little bit of a diamond interchange, which also means we can start bringing this road down. So let's smooth this out. All right, let's make this nice and an easy gradient. Okay. We'll see if we can make something nice here. Okay, with our freeform tool and no road guidelines. We'll see if we can, maybe with the road guidelines then. Yeah, that's nice. All right, it's a little curve. Of course, we're not afraid of introducing curves into our builds. Cool. Now let's discuss what we want to do with the tram tracks. And I think we'll have a, for now at least, separate loop for this tram, which means we'll have an other tram depot, okay? Where are you? Here. We'll have an other tram depot, and I think we'll place it somewhere in here, where we'll also put down a helicopter depot, because we need fire helicopters. We need it desperately in the city, so that the cat ratio banks can stop burning down. That is what we need. We also need this to go the correct way around. Just it's blocking this off. Cool. So let's have a conversation about trams. Let's grab our 2-lane road with tram tracks. And I want it to have its back against the highway. So we'll grab we'll grab this node right here, and we'll drag this road out without the road guidelines on. We'll drag it out to about here. And let's just frame this off for now. Okay, so 2 tiles further up. So I was just checking the width of this. All right, so it was here. So let's put it here, not the width, the depth. So this will back up almost flush with the highway, but I think out a little bit further actually. Like so. Cool. Which means we will also have space for the fire depot or the fire helicopter that we so desperately need. And here we'll just have it go in here and then next to this road. And on the other side here, we'll grab our industry road and we'll just frame this in something like this. And we'll hope that this is enough space for the helicopter depot. Let's check it out. And it is. Now, of course, like the other one, I want the back of it to be against the highway. So let's check out the viability of that. Let's see. Not there. Here. And perfect. Super nice. Super, super nice. And then we can think about possibly having a little tram turnaround here. Something like this. Right? Just a little bit of an extension of the tram asset over there. Perfect. Super nice. We can even fill it out like this, all right? And now we have fire helicopters backed up onto the highway, which of course will be detailed up. Now let's talk about how we're gonna bring this down to the rest of the tram. And I think something like this should be good enough, right? Yeah, it's not too steep. That's nice. So let's grab our metro track here and see what we can do. So we want it to curve. There it'll sit perfect. It will even go over there. All right. Nice, very nice. And I think that's very pretty. So let's pause the game and we'll break the line right here. And we'll see if we can fit in this metro station. Cool. So we'll need to remove this and these two as well. And let's see, will you centralize right on this? Yes, you will. Perfect. Let's connect this up as well. Like straight here and then in. Yeah, that's nice. Let's delete these and take a look at what type of zoning we can put in here. So we'll remove this and we'll do something else. We'll do a 3x3 on either side. We'll remove this guy as well. It's all kinds of weird zonings there. So 3x3 on either side, and that should still allow for a 4x4 there and a 4x4 there. Perfect. We can even, you know, think about what type of zoning we want over here. Very specific. Very, very, very specific with the zonings here. We also need to remove all of this and make sure that the correct buildings are moving in here. We'll do some 4x3s. All right, we can continue this 3x3, I believe, here, if I've counted correctly, and I have. Perfect. So we'll do something like this. Here we could have another set of 3x3s close to this, and the same here. Now let's see what grows in, and then we'll be right back. And of course it's on fire already, but our sky helicopters to the rescue. Let's see, cat ratio banks, are you struggling? Yeah, some abandoned buildings here. And a completely destroyed one. All right, we'll come back and fix you. Maybe we'll have one stop along this waterfront here, just for now. We'll stop on this side is what we talked about, yeah. And then we'll come back, stop there, and round it off. Line overview, and we'll make this blue, because can you stop? Wait, line details, there you go. And we'll make it blue because we are by the water, right? And we need 2 on this. Perfect, that should be good. Let's see, how are we looking? Going through the waterfront. This is going to look amazing with a little bit of detail. And I think that's a good segue into a detailing time lapse. All right, everyone, and we're back. What a detailing time lapse, man. That took a long time, and I really enjoyed detailing all of this up. Like I got completely lost in putting all the trees and bushes down, but yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with this. So a little bit more modern shopping area, right? With some offices and some high residential, lots of green things. We had this big empty space right here where the metro track is going to cross the river, right? So we just put down a little bit of a path, which will also light up at night. Look at this beauty. It's so pretty. Yeah, let me know what you think about this area. I'm super satisfied with how it turned out with the sunken tram stops down here, right? Heavily detailed, heavily fenced, lots of bushes. But that is going to do it for me today, guys. And thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along on the amazing journey of Tassa Springs, which is becoming a beautiful city, slowly but steadily. But yeah, until next time, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. Bye bye.